Hello everyone, I am Srinivasan Rajendran. Today we are going to discuss a topic called data types. So in C program we have been discussed so many things, tokens, variable, keywords, all those stuffs. When we discuss about the variable, we are given a variable name and we are assigning the value to the variable name, but we have to specify that what type of variable it is. Okay, so that is what we are saying about the data types. So it specifies the type of data to be stored in the variable. So let us take an example which I have given here. Int a equal 5. Okay, 5 is the value which are assigned to the variable name a. Okay, which are assigned to a variable name a. But what is the type of a? The type of the a is integer. Okay, so in a short form we can say it as int. Okay, so whereas int is a keyword, which means it is a reserved word, it has some special meaning in it. Okay, so this is a simple example. So this is what a data types. It specifies the type of the variable. As per the example which I have given here, a is the integer data type. Okay, but when we talk about the C programming, there are three different types of three ways of data type is there. Okay, three categories of data type we can say. One is a basic data type, another one which is derived from the basic data type. Okay, so and the last one is a user defined. User defined in the sense a programmer created their own data type. Okay, so that is called user defined data type. So basic data type, which is a default, some people will say it is a primitive data type, some people will say it is a basic data type. Okay, so basic data type which have integer, that is what it's a whole number. In short form we can say it is a int, and decimal point number we can say it is a float, and then the range of the decimal point is quite high when compared with the float to the double. So double is also a decimal point floating number, and followed by character, a single alphabet we can say it as a character. Apart from that, we have a, in some people will say in the primitive data type called void, it does not return any value, it returns as null value. That is also called a basic data type or primitive data type. And followed by derived data type. Derived data type which is derived from the basic. Okay, so integer, float, double, character or primitive, which are basic data type. This array is which is derived from the basic data type. So that is what it is, a derived data type. There are three things which I have discussed: array, pointer and function. As of now you don't have any clue at all what are the derived data types, but let me just try to know what is this. Okay, so these are derived data type. And user defined data type, the user can create their own data type. Okay, or the programmer. So enum, okay, and followed by structure, okay, and then union, all those stuffs are called as user defined data types. Okay, so we'll see about the primitive data types. So integer, the whole number, okay, 10, 20, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, all those steps, the whole number, okay, round off number, we can say it is an integer data type. When we talk about a float, decimal point number, so 3.14, 1.23, 1.41, the decimal point. Okay, so that is called float. And character, a single alphabet we can say it as a character. That's why they are short form, they are writing it as CHAR. And double, which is also a enhanced version of float. The size of the float is higher, the size of the double is higher than the float, which means the if float is the size of the float is 4 bytes, the double is a 8 byte, which means the size when the decimal point the decimal floating point number, the size is quite high, we can go for a double. Okay, we'll see in detail. Let me speak about the primitive data types or basic data types. Okay, so just before we have discussed what are the categories of data types, primitive or basics, and then derived, and then user defined. When we talk specifically about primitive or derived data type, sorry, primitive or basic data types, we have three things: integer, character, and floating point. Okay, integer, character, and floating point. Again, the integer is further subdivided as signed integer and unsigned integer. We'll see in detail with an example what is defined by the signed integer and unsigned integer. But as of now, you just remember signed is a positive as well as a negative value, because the sign is incorporated, plus sign or minus sign, which is incorporated. Unsigned is only a positive numbers, there is no sign. If there is no sign in before the value, in front of the value, it will be treated as a unsigned integer. Okay, so signed integer again, which was divided as short, long, int. See, int, integer. From that short int, either you can say it is a short int or short, long int or long. Okay, it all those things are differ only in the size. Okay, but it will be under the category of signed data type. Signed data type, what they are trying to say, positive number or negative number. Okay, unsigned data type means only a positive numbers. The one thing, if you look at this example, int a equal 5, here I am not specifying anything signed or unsigned, but by default it will be considered as a signed integer. Okay, so it will be signed means it is a positive number. Okay, so by default it will always be considered as a signed integer. In unsigned also we have three categories: unsigned int, unsigned short int, unsigned long int. You can say either it is a short int or short, long int or long. And when we talk about the character, a single alphabet we can say it as a character, fine. But here also signed character is there, unsigned character is there. Sir, we couldn't figure out what is the signed character and unsigned character. Here there is no default options. Either the character will be fall in signed character or unsigned character. It depends on the compiler. Okay, we cannot guarantee that if I am not mentioning anything, so it will be comes under the unsigned character or signed character. We cannot guarantee that. But in the case of integer, if I am not mentioning anything, you just say int a equal 5, it will be treated as a signed integer. But in the space of character, char b equal single quotes, if you give any alphabet a, we cannot guarantee that it is a signed character or unsigned character unless until you have to specify it. It depends on the compiler. We'll broadly discuss with an example about it. And when we talk about a floating point, float, I said enhanced version of float is also double and long double. All of them are differ in the size. Okay, so these are the three primitive data types which are present in the C programming. When we talk about the signed int, short, long, okay, sometimes long is also an option, but people have not used most of the days. From a big project they might have used long. Okay, the size is quite high, but the basic difference is signed is positive as well as a negative number. Unsigned is there is no signed mention at all. If there is no sign mention, it will be treated as a positive number. As I said in the previous category, I have specified that the size differs on the so many types. So character will occupy 1 byte in the sense 8 bits. Okay, so whatever the alphabets or anything, it will be converted into a binary number when we get into a program. Okay, so the character occupies 1 byte in the sense 8 bits. So 8 bits, 2 power 8, okay, we can say 256. Okay, 2 power 8, we can say it is a 256. But if it is a signed or unsigned, it differs in the range. Okay, see, short is also occupies 2 bytes. Okay, which means short int occupies 4 bytes, long int occupies 4 bytes. Okay, long occupies 8 bytes, float occupies 8 bytes, double occupies 8 bytes, and then long double which occupies 16 bytes. Okay, they differ only in the size. So this is the range. If it is minus is included, means it is an unsigned character, or 0 to 255 alone, we can say it is a signed character. Okay, so wherever the minus is include, all are unsigned character. So this is, sorry, signed character. So this is signed character range, this is signed character short, and this is signed character integer and signed character long. Okay, so in contrast, unsigned character is also there. Instead of minus 128 to 127, it is 0 to 255, because it has only a positive numbers. Okay, so those things will be detailed in the next video. What is the difference between signed integer, unsigned integer, or signed character or unsigned character? So the overall summary is, what is data type, what are the different types of data type, under primitive data type, how it is categorized. I hope you would like this video. If you want to more videos in the C programming, please leave a comment what topic I want to take a video. So, and please follow my channel and subscribe my channel. Thank you all.